Hello, Awesome Soul here, and today we are back at it again with the news. 2 news videos in a row. Yes, it's been a good little while for Robocraft news. But yes, this episode will be focusing on tweets that Mark, the game director, has been putting out, as well as something special as well that you've probably seen in the thumbnail, or maybe in the title. I'm not sure how I'm gonna structure all that, but yes, first off, I will go through the tweets and sort of delve into what exactly this could mean and what it might not mean. Anyways, first tweet we have is considering finally getting Robits dropping in crates as well as parts in Robocraft game. Now, I know I say this a lot, but I say it because it's true. People have been wanting this for a long time. If you're sort of newer to Robocraft and don't quite understand what this is trying to get at, before the crate system was added, yes, you know, the boxes that you get after a match, before that was added, you would actually earn RP, or robot points, when you completed a match. That system was scrapped, and then they got the whole Robot system, which was quite literally scrap. You would turn your scrap into dust, and then you could turn this dust into new parts. The whole system there was you would mainly get the parts, hopefully, that you needed from the box, and the whole money aspect was kind of like a side thing. If you scrapped parts that you didn't need, you could get money that way. But a lot of people really liked the old system, where they would actually get money, or currency, or whatever you want to call it. But keep in mind here, a lot of people are rejoicing and saying, oh, it's coming, it's coming. The key word here is considering finally getting Robits dropped in crates as well as parts in Robocraft game. Considering. It's not 100% guaranteed. However, the fact that Mark Simmons actually tweeted this out gives a good degree of certainty that this will make it into the game, or at least they're looking into it as a team. They're finally checking the feedback and taking it to heart. I mean, they probably have been hearing the feedback. They are fairly good about that sort of thing. It's just a lot of the times they're slow to act or what have you. I'm sure that's with any game studio. There's only so many of them, and there's an absolute massive horde of angry customers out there. I mean, they're not that angry. A few of them are angry. But if he tried to implement literally everything that everyone wanted in the order that they said they wanted it, it would create a massive mess. It would be literally impossible to do. Or, well, I guess technically figuratively, but it would take them probably, I don't know, a zillion years to do it. I don't know. But yeah, what do you guys think of actually getting Robits in crates? I'm all for it, obviously. Just wanting to see how exactly they go about doing it. Because this could be a pretty big shakeup to the system they've already established. As I previously said, the whole Robot thing was kind of a side thing to the fact that you're now getting these parts wholesale. That's not really the right word, but hopefully you get what I'm getting at. So yeah, balance is going to be interesting there. Waiting to see how they do it. Maybe that's what they're saying, the whole considering part. They haven't even tested out if it's 100% viable for them to do this in the system they've created. Anyways, that's enough on that point. Let's get on to the second tweet. So a little while after the first tweet he put out, he also put out this one. Also considering, there's that word again, considering hiding the items in the back row in the crates to reduce frustration as parts are taken away from non-premium users. I know he says now, but most likely that's a typo. As a little aside here, it's incredibly frustrating that Twitter does not have an edit feature, but that's not really important. What is important is that I can definitely see this being a pretty big frustration to a lot of people, hence why he most likely brought it up. I have seen a lot of people post images on the Discord channel, the Soul Squad Discord channel. If you haven't checked it out, link in the description. But yes, I have seen a lot of people posting images there, little screenshots basically of their crate, and they would say something along the lines of, "You've got to be kidding me," or "This sucks," or "Oh my gosh," or etc, etc. Now, to be fair though, you are playing a game that people have put a lot of time and effort into for free. So you can't exactly get everything, but I do agree that it is pretty unfair to hide this right in the open, and because the crates are random, you might get something really good, or maybe you might get a legendary in the back row, or 2 legendaries in the back row, and then a bunch of cubes in the front row. You might get lucky, and you might get your legendary in the front row, but yeah, it's, I don't know. I've been kind of suggesting this particular idea for a little while, and that is, what about the ability to swap to the row you want? If you want both, then click Buy Premium. And if you do see there, this does have 16 likes, which I wasn't quite expecting, so thank you to those who liked it. And Mark, if you're watching, there is a, at least from certain people, there is a definite community want for that feature. I think it would be a lot better than the other one, not only for the customers, but also for free jam. So this way, they have the perk of keeping the Buy Premium button on the screen. So if you really want both rows, say there's a legendary in the back row, but there's a legendary in the front row, you can swap them, but you can't get both of them unless you buy Premium. But this way, you are guaranteed to get that legendary. No longer will you never, ever lose out on that one elusive ghost module, for example, that was just tantalizing you in the back row. But of course, you maybe didn't have any money at the time, or for whatever reason you have sworn off ever buying anything in Robocraft. So yeah, to summarize, free jam can still make money with the Buy Premium Now button, and the users will never be cheated out of a part again. At worst, they will have to pick and choose between 2 legendaries, which even then is a pretty damn rare occurrence. So I'd say my little proposal there would be a win-win for everyone. Now, the thing I talked about in the beginning. A little backstory to this. So yesterday, I was fooling around in the garage trying to build, believe it or not, a new mech. Who would have thought it? Awesome soul building mechs. Never seen that before. But yes, today I was trying something a little bit experimental, I guess we could say. And this was a asymmetrical bot with 1 shield arm and 1 combat arm. So I spent a lot of time testing this out. I tried a few different shield configurations, and I got it to look actually really damn cool. Unfortunately though, I remembered after doing some testing that electroplates aren't very good. So, kind of had to scrap that. I even tried the mega plates and made some sort of like giant gladiatorial plate shield. But no, those dropped very quickly. I went up against this little mega cart buggy thing with a single mega SMG in the AI mode. It took like 3 or 4 mega laser shots, I think, and poof, it was gone just like that. It lasted all of 2 or 3 seconds. It was a little sad. So then, come to think of it actually, this is more of an aside than anything, expressing my frustration with electroplates, but I still think that kind of is an important point to make. Anyways, hopefully that electroplate rework is still somewhere close by. Fingers crossed on that one. But anyways, after my frustration with that, I sort of went back to the bay and I looked at the mech and I was like, you know what? All of my mechs have these really wonky looking skirts that you have to build for them. And this goes for literally every mech, not just mine. And that's due to the way that the mounting points are done. Of course, as you know, all the mounting points for the mech legs and the sprinter legs are pointing upwards. But then I remembered, look at literally any mech out there from any mech game at all. Just go Google search. Type in mech, or I'll probably put some up on the screen for you. Look at the way the legs are mounted. None of them are mounted up. All of them are mounted, drum roll please, on the side. So of course, getting my super mega awesome handy dandy Photoshop skills, I mean, well, I honestly could do a lot better than this, but it was just something that I kind of threw together late at night, and basically I think it gets the point across. As you can see here, the mounts are on the sides. So how they could do this is maybe you buy a side-mounted leg, or what you could do is the way the mech legs work, I'm sure you know, there is no rotation for them. So the typical rotation thing could rotate around the mounting point rather than the whole leg. Obviously they would need to make separate models for this, but this way you wouldn't have to buy those models, similar to how you have to make a left and right electroplate. So of course, while I was making this, I remembered that Nubitabox actually already made a concept on this, and it's actually fairly fleshed out. It's not just for mech legs, although it's a bit older, so there's no sprinter legs in there. So, yeah, I guess I beat him to it. I made side-mounted sprinter legs. Well, actually, the carbon 6 sprinter legs. I would definitely recommend checking out that video and maybe sharing that around. Tell them I sent you. But hopefully that will make it into the game, because I really, really, really want side-mounted legs, just because I have made a few Artbot mechs trying to recreate other mechs from other games, and they always look really wonky. And that's because, like I said, you have to make this weird looking skirt structure just to get the legs to hold on properly. For me personally, this is probably at the top of my list, probably the top 10 of the things I want in Robocraft within the next little while. I guess we can leave it at that. But what about you? Would you like to see not only side-mounted sprinter legs, but side-mounted mech legs, top-mounted wheels, so you can make a bicycle, for example? You get the idea. Literally any movement part in the game having a different mounting method. Maybe by pressing a certain key on the keyboard or something like that. Noob in a Box, again, fleshes out this idea a lot more than I'm doing here, so in the end card, go click on that video. You know you want to. And come to think of it, I think that's actually a very good point to end the video. So, with that guys, I of course have been the Awesome Soul. I thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.